So, test 1, unit number 2.1 to 2.5, paper 1. So, what are the questions, how we have to answer properly, we will be discussing. Before that, what I noticed is, see, first you read the question 3-4 times. If you read the question 3-4 times, you will understand the demand of the question. So, the basic thing is addressing the question. One thing, lessons learned, number 1. Number 2 is, now onwards have a practice. When you, in the final examination, when you read the question, read in Hindi language also. For example, there was a question called as Gotto chronology, whereby those who had read in Hindi also, they could write a very good answer and they can come. One topper also missed that question because of not reading in Hindi. Same thing we can attempt or try in UPSC prelims as well as UPSC mains as well. So, coming to this particular unit number 2.1 to 2.5, and the first question is, why culture relativism is dear to many anthropologists? Number 1, elaborate how it violates. Elaborate how it violates. Elaborate or elucidate. The key word is, this is the key word which we have to catch. Elaborate or elucidate. With an example, we have to prove it. Elaborate how it violates the human rights. Substantiate the concept with suitable relevant examples. We have to substantiate how with this both. That example should be helpful for dear, the example should be substantial. So, test 1, unit number 2.1 to 2.5, paper 1. So, what are the questions, how we have to answer properly, we will be discussing. Before that, what I noticed is, see, first you read the question 3-4 times. If you read the question 3-4 times, you will understand the demand of the question. So, the basic thing is addressing the question. One thing, lessons learned, number 1. Number 2 is, now onwards have a practice. When you, in the final examination, when you read the question, read in Hindi language also. For example, there was a question called as Gotto chronology, whereby those who had read in Hindi also, they could write a very good answer and they can come. One topper also missed that question because of not reading in Hindi. Same thing we can attempt or try in UPSC prelims as well as UPSC mains as well. So, coming to this particular unit number 2.1 to 2.5, and the first question is, why culture relativism is dear to many anthropologists? Number 1, elaborate how it violates. Elaborate how it violates. Elaborate or elucidate. The key word is, this is the key word which we have to catch. Elaborate or elucidate. With an example, we have to prove it. Elaborate how it violates the human rights. Substantiate the concept with suitable relevant examples. We have to substantiate how with this both. That example should be helpful for dear, the example should be substantiative for violation of human rights. So, how we have to write this answer? Culture relativism, you know about all the concepts, just I will tell you how to write answers for such type of questions. Culture relativism is a concept which is given by Franz Boas. What is culture relativism? Again, some of the students are struggling to remember the year names, years. No need to remember the years, 100%. Evaluator never try to, he himself will not remember the years. If you write years also, what you had written, if it is approximately correct, he will accept it. So, do not worry about the years. So, first, culture relativism is a concept which is given by Franz Boas, and the definition of culture relativism you will write. What is all about culture relativism? Then the side heading should be there. You divide the question. Only few 2 or 3 students had kept side headings. Second side heading, addressing the question. Culture relativism is dear to few anthropologists. The reason behind it is, number 1, it advocates tolerance. Number 2, it advocates world peace. It advocates sustainable development and inclusive development. It advocates adaptation, how we can adapt to the cultures of the others. And as you know, one culture we should not compare with other culture, as you know, that one you will write. Means the structure of writing an answer is very important. Why it is dear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are 6 you know? It is there in the model answer also. What are those 6 proper model answers I gave in a point wise format. But that keeping of side heading is very, very important. So, the examiner, the evaluator will come to a conclusion that yes, he wrote what is cultural relativism, what is the meaning of cultural relativism, what is the meaning of cultural relativism, you know, cultural relativism is sensitive towards other cultures, it is open minded, it is tolerant, some characteristics are there for cultural relativism, you will write those characteristics. Why dear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points you will mention with suitable example. For example, Malinowski, for him, he appreciated the colouring. Why? Because we can understand from the perspective of cultural relativism. He never thought as a fun that why people are moving in so ferocious ocean in spite of a threat to their life. So, he understands their culture, he understands the colouring, how much colouring is playing a major importance in their lives. So, he understood from the cultural relativist point. So, what happened? He started appreciating the cultures, he started appreciating the tradition which is followed in the Trobriand Islands, Oceania region, Maelu Islands, these all islands. So, one example of anything we have to take that examples and how it is dear, because of this concept is dear. Second, cultural relativism is the first part, the characteristics of cultural relativism is the first part of the answer. Second part of the answer is side heading, why it is dear to many anthropologists. Third point, elaborate how it violates human rights, you know this, elaborate next. How cultural relativism is responsible for violation of human rights, side heading. So, when you break the question into pieces and you address the evaluator will feel happy that you are not running around the bush and you are pinpointing what is the demand of the question. So, you will write point wise, one by one, you have lot of examples, female genital mutilation, sati pradhan, different examples are there, those you will write. So, in this way, example and we have to substantiate, example we have to substantiate. For every test, for every answer, this is a structure which you have to follow, number 1. Number 2, second one, write the meaning and concept related to the society and culture, and list out the interrelationships and similarities to understand the human behavior in the society. So, first I will write about the 2 important aspects of mankind is society and culture. Society is nothing but the combination of people who put together into interrelationship with each other is called as society, whereas that society which is following the rules and regulations is called as culture. Introduction. Then I will keep proper side heading, society. The society definition is given by this anthropologist, you will write the definition of society. Then you will write the characteristics of society, 1, 2, 3, 4 characteristics. Then culture, the culture definition is given by any anthropologist, Malinowski, E.B. Taylor, etc. One definition you will remember and you will write the definition, characteristics of culture. First part of the answer is completed. Second part of the answer, we have to establish the relationship between culture and society. There are some anthropologist views. Malinowski told culture is important but not the society. Yes or no? Levi-Strauss told no, society is important but not the culture. R.C. Brown told that culture and society both are important. And finally, Kroiber concluded that if the people are there, then only there is a use of culture. Then only there is a use of culture. If people are not there, there is no use of culture. Hence, the highest importance is given to the people. That is called as interrelationship between the culture and society. Second part of the answer. Third part of the answer didn't completed it. Now, what I am asking about similarities to understand the human behavior. So, what are the similarities between the culture and society? The similarities, both work for universal brotherhood. Yes or no? Both work for universal brotherhood. Both are for the functions of the man. It can be a society, it can be a culture. Both work for the functions of the man. Satisfaction of human needs. These are the similarities between both of them. Both are against violence. Both are for non-violence. Both promote togetherness. These are the similarities between both of them. In both, it might be the society or it might be the culture. It makes the people to come together to establish the interrelationship by following some rules and regulations. Example you will write. It is not only about the people coming together. If they have proper rules and regulation, then that society will be a peaceful society. Like example, Toda tribal community. The Toda tribal community came together. They have their own rules and regulations in the form of traditions, customs, etc. Hence, the Toda tribal community is a peaceful society. Hence, they reached their objective. like that we have to write. So, for this question, please first give again, sir, what is introduction? What is introduction? Introduction is nothing but the question which is asked, you will rephrase it. That is called as introduction. You will rephrase it. I rephrased it for society and culture. You will rephrase the society and culture, then you will address from second paragraph onwards. Directly you are writing society, directly you are writing culture. Remember, it is for 20 marker. Yes, you can write it directly, you can pinpoint, but if it is only 10 marker, if it is 10 marker, you have to directly hit the ball. But it is not 10 marker, so 20 marker, you should establish a structure. And you have to fill 4 pages, no? That is also you have to remember. You have to fill 4 pages. Third question. Write the meaning of social stratification and discuss the various approaches with their present relevance and significance. With their present relevance and significance. Social stratification. Directly, there is no necessity to go for social stratification. Societies are present in every part of the world. In society, the most important aspect which is inbuilt present is social stratification. Social stratification is, you will write the definition. So, before going to the social stratification, you have to tell how you are reaching social stratification, 3-4 lines. Then you will go for social stratification and you will give the definition of social stratification. Write the meaning of social stratification, you will write the definition of social stratification, which is mainly divided based upon the prestige, class and 3 things are there, no? Power. Then characteristics of social stratification. Number 1, inbuilt division of the society is part of social stratification. Number 2, there is achieved status as well as ascribed status. Both are characteristics. Number 3, more. What are the characteristics of social stratification? Bolo. Society accepts the stratification. That is also one of the characteristics. Society accepts the stratification. Example you will write. Hindu social system is accepting the social stratification on the name called as caste system. Next. Any other characteristic? So, from the answer, from the topic itself we have to tell. The social stratification is having the function. What is that? Peaceful existence of society where all the functions of the people are satisfied. For example, again you bring the caste system, we have an I for one particular purpose, we have a Dobi for one particular purpose, we have a scheduled caste for one particular purpose, we have a Brahmin for one particular purpose. So, when the social stratification is being properly managed, then each and every individual's functions are satisfied. Functionalistic orientation. Social stratification is functionalistic orientation. See, means what I want to tell you. So, when you give the introduction, when you write about the social stratification such that it can be a social group, it can be a social institution, it can be a total institution, it can be social stratification, it can be culture, it can be society, it can be marriage, it can be family, it can be kinship. Give the definition and write the characteristics. Give the definition and write the characteristics. So, introduction for the social stratification definition, then social stratification characteristics. One part of the answer is addressed. Various approaches, you know. So, there are 3 famous approaches, or there are 3 approaches of understanding social stratification. You know, Weber's approach, functional approach, one more, Weber's approach, Karl Marx approach. Functional approach and Max Weber's approach. These 3 Weber's, these approaches 1, 2, 3 you will write. Second part of the answer is addressed. With present relevance and significance. So, that means present relevance of social stratification side heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the present relevance. The government and the people cannot stay together. Why? Because the government is something which is allied. Why? Because they are in the policy making. So, every time the people cannot meet the government. So, there should be some distinction between the people who are in the government as well as the people. Then what happened? The government will get the time to make some policies. Hence, that type of distinction is also social stratification based upon power. Number 1. For example, if you are a district collector, every time meeting the people is impossible, you will meet with the people only. For example, RTI, what happened? Right to information, when they started answering the requests based upon the RTI, the government officers, the big criticism is the work of the government officers became giving answers to the RTI request, and they left their original duty. What is their original duty? Something original duty will be there, no, education department or police department. They left their duty and they started giving only answers to the request. So, there will be some core duty which need to be performed. So, obviously, there should be a distinction between the people and the government. Means significance of social stratification. Present relevance, like achieved status will based upon the merit is the present relevance. Today's completely social stratification is based upon achieved status. For example, a person of the scheduled caste community who became the president of India, Ramnath. See, 4 parts are there in this particular answer. Social stratification, characteristics of social stratification, approaches of social stratification, present relevance of social stratification, and significance of social stratification. So, social stratification is inevitable, but however, it should not lead to discrimination. It should not generate inequalities. Till the inequalities and discriminations are not present with the social stratification, that social stratification is acceptable. But if the discrimination and inequality is inbuilt or ensures or it enshrines into it, that type of social stratification will lead to division of the. A proper conclusion. Sir, can economic status played role in social? Yes, 100%. Sir, when they ask about present relevance, how many points? 4 points, remember this, 4 points. Characteristics also 4 points, and you have to explain it. I understood one thing, the students who are writing mains last time, last test series batch, they written about bullies, cockfights, example. See, you cannot, this is an example, you cannot assume, you cannot just throw points on me. Example, bullies, cockfights, means you in bracket you have to explain me what is this bullies, cockfights, what will happen in that bullies, cockfights, you have to expand it. It shows the evaluator that you by hearted somewhere and you just written the point. So, you have to expand, means if you write about culture is internal, external, culture is dynamic, some characteristics are there, no, culture is dynamic, culture is shared. So, you have to, how it is shared, in bracket you have to mention it. All the people are, culture is symbolic, which is present in the minds of the people. You have to just explain, in bracket one line you have to explain. Relationship between state and people is not social stratification. See, social stratification means between the state and people. Here social stratification means distinction. If I am the state, you are the people, we both are not one and the same. Why? Because I am in policy making, I am in rule making. So, every time I cannot take your opinion in all the dimensions. Why? Because it's impossible. So, there is a need for some distinction. Why? Because the people are large in number, but the government is less in number. So, when I require to take the opinions, then only I can take the opinions. Every time we cannot have equal treatment. Are you getting my point? If you are a district collector, every time you cannot approach each and every individual, every time you cannot give appointment to each and every individual. Why? Because it is practically impossible. So, there will be a distinction. What? A specific time will be provided, and that particular specific time only you will be approachable to them. Hence, you will be taking all the concerns and you will be making the, that is also called as social stratification, some form of distinction, which is different from you people, different from you, and significance of social stratification. Got it? 4th question we will see. Elaborate the concept of social group. Elaborate the concept of social group and with its various groups and how it brought examples of social groups and how it brought the dynamic changes during the lockdown due to the COVID outbreak. Very current relevant question. So, first you will write. The people coming together and establishing a society is part and parcel of the nature. In the society, several institutions are present like social institution, total institution and social group. Social group is a concept whereby the people come together based upon the identity and purpose and establish a group is called as social group. The characteristics of social group, they come based upon identity, example, tribal example. They come upon common goals, objective, for example, UPSC aspirants. So, these are the characteristics of social group you answered. So, first part of the question is answer. Social group. Now, varieties of social group, based on primary social group and secondary social group, based upon interaction only, no? Primary social group and secondary social group. Next, anything more social group divisions are there? Formal and informal. Social groups we will write about based upon the interaction. It is primary as well as secondary. Based upon the group formation, institutional group formation, there is a formal group and informal group. So, you will write about formal group and informal. So, varieties of groups also been and brought about and write about the dynamic changes which is happened because of COVID. So, in the process or in the 21st century, we had experienced the COVID lockdown which had observed enormous changes in the society. Like what? Number one, you know about it. Like the primary social group lost its relevance, the secondary social group became very prominent. Why? Because virtual relations became more prominent, the primary relations became not that much prominent, the contacts reduced. These all points you will write, and you will also write about According to National Crime Reports Bureau, the domestic violence also increased, because of which, and the social groups are responsible for it, and the number of divorce rate post-COVID times has been increased. These points you will write about. Voluntary, involuntary, delegated group. Yes or no? Primary, secondary, formal, informal, voluntary, involuntary, delegated. Voluntary means WhatsApp group. I will join, I will leave. My wish. Involuntary, family group. If you leave also, they will catch and again they will join. Involuntary social group. Delegate group, parliament. How we have to address this? Second unit is small unit. Second unit is small unit. That socio-culture anthropology is easy. So with easy test, I want to come near you. So through this first test, I want you to understand how to write an answer for a 20 marker and 15 marker. Write the meaning of preferential marriage and discuss the different forms. Directly preferential marriage. First, one of the most important institution of man is marriage institution. In that marriage institution, there are different regulations of marriage, like prescribed marriage, preferential marriage, proscribed marriage. Full stop. Next paragraph. Marriage is defined by, as per notes and queries, this is. So here we are going to understand about preferential marriage. This is the introduction, first part of the answer. Preferential marriages, you know preferential marriages. Then preferential marriages are like primary, secondary. Primary preferential marriages are like uncle niece marriages, cross cousin marriages, parallel cousin marriages, matrilineal cross cousin, patrilineal cross cousin, matrilineal, same. 5 types are there, no? Primary. One is uncle niece, parallel cross, parallel, patrilineal parallel, patrilineal cross, matrilineal parallel, matrilineal cross. Then secondary is what? Levirate and sororate. What is levirate? Husband dies, husband's brother will become the probable husband. Sororate, sister. S means sister. When wife dies, wife's sister will become a probable. These are preferential. First see, I didn't write directly about the preferential marriages. There are, marriage is a very important institution which is present with the man. Then there are some regulations for the marriage. These are the marriage regulations. Marriage definition is this. Here we are going to discuss about preferential marriages, and those preferential marriages are this. No need to see, I am telling you. Some students will think designing means, see, for example, just an example. What is this type of marriage? Patrilineal parallel cousin. Patrilineal parallel cousin. Sorry, matrilineal parallel cousin. Matri. Why? Because groom is from mother side. Groom is from mother side, so it is called as matrilineal. One of the student is telling that compulsory you have to keep a block. Not required. Evaluator, a optional evaluator, if he got a job of doing evaluation, he will be matured. He will look into the content. It should be legible. I will share Nidhi Pai's paper and Umaharati paper also I will share today. See those papers. Umaharati is good look. Umaharati's paper is good looking. Paper is good looking. Nidhi Pai's paper is like normal handwriting. But who got 325 marks? Nidhi Pai got 325. She got only rank 3, but she got 325 marks. Means what? She focused more on content. She also written other papers well. Here she got 283. I am not telling that she had written. Means her answer is very designed, proper structured way. But the content is present where? Little bit more content is present with Nidhi Pai. That is the reason 283, 325. Huge marks difference is there. She got very good marks in essay. I am talking about my subject, anthropology. Both written. But content is important. Designing is also important. When you write content, then you have to add design. Without writing content, just by designing, if you think you will be getting the marks, then you are 100% wrong. That is what I want to tell you. With suitable trivial examples. You know examples of matrilineal parallel cousin, matrilineal cross cousin, examples. Parallel cousins, Kurdish, Muslim community, parallel cousins or cross cousins, patrilineal cross cousins, Hindu social system, Gondu tribal community, uncle niece marriages, Chenchu tribal community. These are the various examples you will mention. Finally, we come to know. And final conclusion, 20 marker. But however, the Supreme Court recently in its judgment mentioned that the regulations of marriage is not important. It is the individual choice which comes under Article 21 of the Constitution, right to life and liberty, which plays a major role in deciding the life partner. So the regulations of marriage is a futile. Yes or no? This is called as present relevance. It is Article 21, right to choose the partner. Laws of marriage is different. Laws of marriage is what endogamy, exogamy, hypergamy, hypogamy is laws of marriage. This is called marriage regulations. Prescribed, preferential, proscribed. Elaborate how the live-in relationship. Elaborate how the live-in relationship will affect the Indian traditional institutions like marriage system in India with its present status. Live-in relationship and marriage. So first we have to write about. First, one of the most serious institution in Indian family system is marriage system. Recently the marriage system is getting replaced by live-in relationship system. Live-in relationship system. I introduced. Then second paragraph, marriage is being defined by these people. Marriage is being defined by these people, characteristics of marriage. Live-in relationship is this concept, characteristics of live-in relationship. This is the first part of the answer. I introduced about live-in relationship, I introduced about marriage, then I wrote about marriage, I wrote about characteristics of marriage, then I wrote about live-in relationship, then I wrote about characteristics of live-in relationship. Now pinpoint the question. How the live-in relationship will affect the Indian traditional institution like marriage system? How LIR is going to impact marriage institution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Main important thing which is identified in Sharma versus Sharma judgment of 2013, the woman will become more vulnerable. Why? Because the security, the safety which is ensured in marriage is not present in live-in relation. That should be the topmost priority. Again, when you are writing an answer, like point wise is, the topmost priority point should be the top. It's not about choice, it's all about safety and security. So live-in relationship will not guarantee what? Safety and security, but it will be guaranteed in that point you will write. Second, anyhow choice you will write. Third point, anyhow you will write about economic benefits, social benefits, the choice to break easily. Article 21 of the Constitution ensures live-in relationship. Why? Because it's a choice. These are all points you will write about. But however, finally, the Supreme Court of India recently accepted the live-in relationship as a serious institution or an institution of society. But however, it is not accepted by the society. Hence, live-in relationship is having legal backing but not societal back. Please understand the test series, the meaning is, this is not about the content. You already studied your content in your classes or somewhere else. Now, how to write it, how to arrange it is important. Yes, Partha. Sir, how many definitions minimum one is enough? One definition is enough and you have to write about the characteristics. Write about the types of family based on various factors like structure, blood relation, marriage, residence and succession. Again, see, the unit is small, so the questions are repeating, same you will write. The most important institutions of society are family, marriage and kinship, full stop. And family is regarded as a most important institution. The definition of family is given by Newton-Stephen. His definition we will write. Newton-Stephen definition of family we will write about. Then the characteristics of family. One page completed. Second page we will go. So the family is divided based upon several factors. One among them is structure. One is nuclear family, other is joint family. You will write about nuclear family, you will write about joint family. Then there are other varieties of families based upon the structure like extended horizontally, extended vertically. What is this extended horizontally? What is this extended vertically? Extended horizontally are the brothers staying together, extended vertically are the sons staying together, the distant people staying. Then blood relations, conjugal, consanguineous, you know. Then you will write about marriage, monogamous, polygynous, polyandrous, polygynandrous families. Then residence, patrilocal, matrilocal, neolocal, avunculocal. Then succession, patrilineal, matrilineal. These are the various varieties of family. Now you have to write, he didn't ask about 20 marker. If it is a 10 marker, only up to here you have to write and stop. But 20 marker. But in present context, the family as a basic unit of society is getting degraded. One parent family or the kindergartens, enculturation of the children, which are the main duties of the families, is getting sidetracked or degenerated. Hence, the family as an institution which was sacred became profane now. Yes or no? What is the meaning of sacred and profane? Sacred is super serious. Profane is not scientific. What is the original meaning of profane? Means it's rational. So, family is becoming rational. Rational means what? Convenience. Now, families we are changing according to our convenience. Convenience is scientific. So, family is not becoming non-serious. Family is serious only, but it is not sacred, but it is SR on Nagaraju. Creches, child care centers. Write about the principles and types of dissent. First you will write about In kinship, the descent principle is playing a major role. Descent definition. What is this? Tracing one's ancestors is called as descent. Principles of descent. What is the principles of descent? Number one, the descents are formed mainly based upon blood relations. Based upon blood relation, either father side or mother side, but obviously it is blood relation. Number two, the descent is also formed based upon the marriage. Third, descent is also formed based upon functions, like what? Double descent. Some I will be tracing from father side, some I will be tracing from mother side. Yes or no? Double descent. So, based upon objectives, the characteristics of descent. Then we will go here. There are different types of descent, like unilineal descent. Unilineal descent, we have patrilineal descent and matrilineal descent. With example you will write. With respect double descent. What is double descent? Some tribes from father, like material tribes from father, non-material tribes from mother. For example, Yako tribe. Then bilateral descent. What is bilateral descent? I can share equally from father, I can share equally from mother. Bilateral. Ambilineal. In one generation only one I can choose. If I want to change, in next generation only I can change. That is called as ambilineal descent. There is another extra descent which is called as parallel descent, whereby all females will be tracing mother side, all males will be tracing. These are the different types of with present relevance. Now we are not giving importance to descent, now we are giving importance to ego. Descent is ancestor centric, but today we are giving importance to egocentric. Hence, the types of descents became irrelevant and kindred form of descent became important. What is kindred form of descent? With whom I wish to maintain the relationship, only with those I will be maintaining the relationship. Whereas descent is a compulsion, whereas the descent is a compulsion and a kindred is a choice. Whether I wish or not, I have to be in the father side only. Whether I wish or not, I have to be in the mother side only. But now, in bilateral descent, I will be maintaining relationship with father side, I will be maintaining relationship with my mother side, I will be maintaining relationship with my spouse side, but only those people who are like-minded, who help me, who are helping me functionally, who are having common objective like me, only those people will become my relatives. That is present relevance, yes or no? Write the brief note on the significance and difference between culture and civilization to understand the culture and civilization to understand the two important aspects of mankind is culture and society. Culture and society. First, culture and society. In later times, with improvement in tools and technology, civilization also joined to culture and society. Society is a combination of people, culture is way of living. Whereas civilization is about the technology which is playing on the people, the civilization is the technology which is present on the society to make the lives better. So, three things I explained in one particular paragraph. Then culture, definition of culture, characteristics of culture, society, definition of society, characteristics of society, civilization, definition of civilization, characteristics of civilization. Main question is what? Write the brief note on significance and differences between the culture and civilization. Difference between the culture and civilization, 1, 2, 3, 4. Culture is a way of living, civilization is betterment of living. The betterment of living is because of technology. Second point, culture mainly focus on non-material, civilization mainly focus on culture is internal, civilization is external. More. Culture without change, civilization with change. These are the differences you will write. Significance. Culture and civilization both makes the man's life easier. That is the reason we have culture and civilization. We take the help of civilization to follow the culture. For example, Dandiya. The Dandiya is becoming super serious day on day. Why? Because the music has added to it. Music is what in bracket? Civilization. So, civilization will help the culture to protect or to spread. Yes or no? And final conclusion. Civilization will change, but the cultural core will be the same. Cultural peripherals might change, but the culture core never changes. Yes or no? Online? Yes, you can write about family system. We can write about the Hindu Succession Act amendment, whereby the female is also having the equal share to share the property from the parentals or ancestry's property. Yes, that also you can add. Correct. Venu. Elaborate whether marriage is universal institution or not by the various anthropologists' definition. So, you will write about, see, various anthropologists' definition. I mentioned about various anthropologists' definition. So, you will start the paragraph from marriage definitions. What I told, various anthropologists' definition. You can write who are the Westermark gave, Malnovisky gave, notes and queries gave. So, remember any three and you write three. When asked about, then it is a universal institution or not. Means marriage is same everywhere or not. Marriage as a universal institution, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is economic interdependence, there is cooperation, there is social relationship. The children born to the woman and men are considered as the legal parents for those children. Hence, it is a universal institution. Second paragraph. No, it is not a universal institution. Number 1, boy marriage, girl marriage, ghost marriages, etc. Finally, when we use the word universal institution, it should be same everywhere. It should be accepted everywhere. But marriage as an institution between a male and female is not accepted everywhere. For example, New Year, for example, Azan Day. Hence, universal definition of marriage is not true, but the functions of marriage is universal. Sexual functions, cultural functions, social functions, economical functions. Yes or no? Marriage as a definition is not universal, but the functions of marriage is, that is the conclusion. Means we have to show the evaluator that I have command over the subject, not facts. And one more thing I am telling you, there is no one best way of writing an answer. There is no one best way of writing an answer. If you express logically, you will get marks. Write about social institution and total institution. Institution is that particular medium where there is a specified behavior followed. Here we have two institutions. One is social institution, other is total institution. Social institution side heading. Social institution where objective is there, people join together because of identity, and there will be specified behavior or not. In social institution there will be specified behavior, or we can behave however we want. Family is a social institution, marriage is a social institution. This many days I am like this, I will also behave like this, means marriage will break into pieces. So there is a requirement of specified behavior. So social institution, example marriage, family, write about the characteristics. Total institution. Social, political, economical, cultural, if all things are happening in one particular institution, it is called as total institution. Prison, orphanages, youth dormitories, old age homes, social, political, economical, cultural, all the aspects happened in one particular institution, it is called as total institution. First part of the question completed. Explain difference between both of them. Now we will write the differences between both of them. Again, we can write in box or we can also write point wise, no problem. Nowadays, institutions are changing to total institutions, accepted or not. Nowadays, the institutions are changing, hostel is a total institution nowadays. The social institution seriousness is reducing and the total institutions numbers are increasing. What are the different laws of, laws is different, see my students, syllabus we have to read first. In marriage unit for example, laws of marriage means endogamy, exogamy, hypergamy, hypogamy, incestable. Regulations of marriage means, for that you should not write this, for this you should not write this. Write about regulations of marriage means prescribed, preferential and proscribed. Marriage payments is different. More, what is there in syllabus? In the marriage unit topic, for example, ways of acquiring mates or family, different varieties of families. What are the different laws of marriage? Again marriage, understanding of marriage or what is marriage in rough. Then second paragraph, write about the marriage definition. I will tell you, see, take this. No need to open in 20 marker or 15 marker, no need to open your answer with a definition. It showcases as if you are planned and you are writing. Write first paragraph what you know about marriage and second paragraph you write the definition of marriage or family or kinship or anything. It shows that you know the concept which you explained in your words in your first paragraph, and second paragraph you have to write in anthropological way, so you are writing a definition of an anthropologist. Different laws of marriage, that marriage you will write. Introduction of marriage, marriage definition, characteristics of marriage. One page completed. Second page. Different laws of marriage, endogamy, exogamy, hypergamy, hypogamy, incestable, that you know, endo within, exo outside, hyper, anuloma, hypo, pratiloma, incest, proscribed. And second, third page is pending. And payments of marriage system in India, my dear. Everyone wrote about ways of acquiring mate in simple societies. It is in India. India is mainstream. India is complex society. So you have to write only about bride price, dowry, no payment. No payment also one of the model. Why payment compulsory? In India, in complex society. Anything you can add? No, see, where you will see bride service in mainstream India? In tribal societies we have. In India means complex society. Complex society means mainstream India. If in place of India, if it is written primitive societies, then you will write everything. Probationary marriage, elopement, mutual consent, exchange, gift exchange, what you told, bride service is all things. But India, mainstream, mainly bride price is there in mainstream India. Yes, Kanya Shulakam example. Dowry is there in mainstream India. No exchange is there. Anything is there, tell me. Exchange of women is there in mainstream. Example, Kundamarpidi Pelli. That you can write. Kundamarpidi Pelli is there, which is very famous in mainstream India. What they will do, you marry my sister, I will marry your sister. The type of marriages is there in mainstream India. 4 types of marriages are there that we can tell as female exchange. Write the impact of feminist movements on the family system. On family system and how it led to feminism, led to impact on family, eventually led to woman empowerment. So I am not just asking about the impact on family, how this impact on family eventually leading to the impact on woman empowerment. So in family system, the role of woman has been increased. Woman got due respect. Eventually she started entering into the economical systems. She started entering into the political systems, woman empowerment. So any change happens in family will eventually lead to woman empowerment. So that change in the family system is because of feminism. So feminism will, this is a very good point, feminism will not directly lead to woman empowerment. Feminism will lead to impact on family system, will eventually lead to, someone should see, without our family support how we can. So there will be impact on family, that family will lead to, you have tried like this. First feminism, how family definition. Family is one of the important social institution of the society. The family definition is given by this particular anthropologist. You will write that. Then characteristics of family. Then the family got impacted by various factors like industrialization, globalization, more urbanization and feminist movements. Next paragraph. Feminism, whereby there are 2 varieties of feminisms are there. One is called as liberal feminism, other is called as radical feminism. Liberal feminism advocates that men and women are equal, whereas radical feminism believes that the woman is suffering mainly because of family system, whereby if woman emancipation need to be happen, it can happen only by the annihilation of family system. So we are talking about annihilation of family system. Why? Because woman is suppressed in family system. So we are, again we should write. So here we have to advocate for liberal feminism but not radical feminism. So how liberal feminism is resulting in impact on family system, eventually on woman empowerment, one by one. You can write about this boxers of Haryana. What sisters those are? Pogat sisters. Haryana is a deep-rooted patriarchal system where the sex ratio is 8:4 by 1000. But because of the family change, the father had made the 2 sisters against the stereotypic mentality of the villages of the Haryana. They were being trained with wrestling or boxing? Wrestling. Ambika, a woman who got married at the age of 14 and by the age of 18 years she had 2 children. Because of the support from the family by husband, by 23 years she became a lady Singham and IPS officer. Yes. But the question is feminist movement. How feminist movement? What are the feminist movement? You will write about AIDWA, All India Democratic Women Association. All India Democratic Women Association funded this lady, Ambika. She became an IPS officer. It's a feminist organization, All India Democratic Women Association. Pocket girls, why I took these examples? Pocket girls got support from SEVA. What is SEVA? Self-Employed Women Association. By whom? Who is the leader of it? SEVA, the biggest women NGO. SEVA, the biggest women NGO in India. Self-Employed Women Association of Gujarat. Ila Bhatt, very good. Harika, Ila Bhatt. They funded Pocket system. All India Democratic Women Association supported Ambika. Feminist organizations these are working for the development of women. Feminist organizations means not only they are revolutionaries who are working for the development of women, all are called as feminist organizations only. Write a note on the different forms of descent groups in the kinship system. Different forms of descent groups are again the same. Patrilineal, unilineal, in unilineal, patrilineal, different forms of descent. Yes, different forms of descent, lineage, clan, fratry, moiety. So every society is divided into moiety, every moiety is divided into fratry, every fratry is divided into clan, every clan is divided into lineage, every lineage is divided into family. For lineage, Khandan example, clan, totem example, fratry. If the population is large, then only there will be fratry. If not, every society is divided into moiety. Todas are divided into Tervi oil, fratries when the populations are more, like Crow Indians, whereas clan examples we have, like in Mahabharata also clans are there, lineages are nothing but Surya Vamsham, etc. These are the different forms of in kinship system. Got it everyone? Yes. SAFA, an organization, is empowering Muslim women in entrepreneurship. True. These examples no one wrote. It will become generalist answer, no? No one gave me an example. That is the reason. Don't depend upon evaluation also. Make your paper evaluated, read the model answers, watch the discussion class. If these three things synchronize, then you will write a very good answer next time. Just by evaluating, nothing. Just by model answers also nothing. More practical points will be in discussion class. Okay? Very good, Nagaraju. This example, Safa, Aidba, Seva. How should we write conclusions? Gopi is asking. How we should write concluding points? For example, this. Write a note on the different forms of descent groups in the kinship systems. Finally, I will write. But however, it can be a contemporary also. However, in the recent times, the forms of descent became futile. The importance given to the different forms of descent is negligible because individual centric, ego-centric has become more important. Kindred forms of descent are playing major role rather than the descent itself. See how to balance generalist points in anthropology answer, simple. A tribal example, an anthropologist is there, your answer is anthropology. Examples are the life for your answers. More the examples, more the marks. It is proven also. Okay? Tomorrow we will have one-to-one session. It will be Zoom session. Why? Because what is the benefit of it? I will take your answer script onto the screen, evaluated copies. So you and me, we both can see your answers. So I can properly give points, some comments. So then and there you can improve. Complete paper will be re-evaluated. So that I will post in the group at what time it will be.